Life insurance is really doing exactly what you like and love. Cause that's that shit that keep the fire alive to know.
What's up, YouTube? Hello, social medias, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're watching this video. It's your girl, Whitney B, better known as the Dopest Historian, coming to you today with the Dopest History. But actually, today I'm going to be talking about just some updates on me, the Dopest Historian, Dopest History, what's going on, what's to come forth. Y'all probably tired of these update videos, but trust and believe, this update is one you gonna want to see. Alright, so let's get into it. Per usual, I'm gonna have my notebook here to stay in tune with my notes. I don't want to get too far off subject with you all. I have an outline that I want to go by, so let's see how it goes. All right, so I'm excited, you guys. How have you all been? I haven't talked to you since February. I know in February I did a YouTube vocabulary video about, just Black history words that you should know. I do plan on continuing that. I'll get into that later as we talk about, what do I plan on doing going forward and things like that. But all right, y'all, what's up with Whit, the Dopest Historian? Well, I want to first start off by saying, what up, what it do, y'all? All my subscribers, all my supporters, followers, all of you guys who have been constantly encouraging me, giving me likes, shares, fire emojis, all of the things on top of the things, sharing me to your friends, which enables me to get more followers. I want to say hey and thank you. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. Dopest History has now accumulated over 600 followers, and we are on our way to 1,000. I project by the end of 22, if I do what I need to do, you all will get me to 1,000 followers. So let's just keep going on along the journey, all right? Thank you guys so much for all of the support. Like I said, the DMs, the likes, the shares, the comments, just the feedback. I live for the feedback, honestly, truly, because I do this for you all. If you all aren't enjoying the history, then what am I doing? I'm the Dopest Historian. If I'm not making it dope history, if I'm not giving you the dope history, specifically the dopest Black history, then we need to go back to the drawing board, point blank, period. And sometimes that's why you see me go away, because I realize this isn't my vision, but it's not exactly how I visioned it. And so I got to go back to the drawing board to see how I can pull out the dopest Black history for you guys. Black History Month was amazing, you all. Like I said, I did the Black History vocabulary video. If you all tuned in, I did a podcast with Whit. That was amazing. That was my first published podcast. And then I also spoke to some middle schoolers at Forest Brook Middle School. That was the first time that I was ever able to speak to students. And when I started this journey, the idea was that, no, I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be a professor. I will be an expert historian, meaning that I'll be able to go into classrooms. I'll be able to go into lectures in those big auditoriums and talk on the specific things that I want to talk about in regards to history. So to be able to do that this past February, I'm still establishing myself as the Dopest Historian, but to know that people recognize my passion and see that what I'm doing, I'm really passionate about it, I was ecstatic. February was really great for me. As the Dopest Historian, I cannot thank you guys enough for the support, the shares, the likes, the comments. I really was I was on 10 all Black History Month, right? There were a couple of things that, of course, always, if you got some highs, you're going to have some lows, right? And that happened in February, of course, but as I kept trucking along and things smoothed itself out, we did what needed to get done. So, y'all, as everyone knows, I was, keyword was, as you probably know, I am no longer at the Houston Museum of African American Culture. I was the Dopest Historian at HMAC. The Houston Museum of African American Culture hired me in August of 2021 because they saw what I was doing, right? They saw the Dopest Historian out here in these streets. They say, hey, we want you on our team. And, me being the Dopest Historian, I cannot pass up a moment to do what I do best for a Black establishment, let alone the Houston Museum of African American Culture. Come on now. That was super dope. I was super ecstatic, all of the things, right? It was honestly one of the best experiences I've had. Shout out to my man, John Guest. Yes, Mr. CEO, you already know. Like, we're here. Super shout out to Mr. John Guest. I could not have honestly even made it to February 2022 without Mr. John Guest. He honestly has pushed me, encouraged me, gave me so many wonderful, kind words. He's mentioned my name whenever there was a time to mention my name. Like, honestly, if somebody came into the museum, do you know the dopest historian? Do you know the dopest historian? Like, if Mr. John was around and I was around, he was to sure let you know that the dopest historian is in your vicinity. And for that, I am forever grateful and thankful. I am no longer at the Houston Museum of African American Culture. I did have to resign. It was a hard decision. I cried the whole time as I resigned. Like, I'm not lying. You can ask. Like, yeah, it's not necessarily something that I wanted to do, but for the journey, right? We talk about the journey all the time. For the journey, it was something that I had to do. And one day, you know, maybe I'll go into the backgrounds of things and maybe discuss like, hey, these are some of the things that you want to look out for while you're on the journey, and to know that you are worth more than just be in tune. As long as you're in tune with who you are and what you want to do, you'll be able to make the decisions that I've made in knowing that you're okay. Right? Everybody was confused. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people were confused and kind of concerned on, like, you know, you're leaving the Houston Museum of African American Culture. Like, what's next? You don't have a degree. You're not working corporate. Like, what's next? And I'm like, don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got that splat. And who's that splat? The one who created this all. Baby, don't worry about it. My steps are ordered. This wouldn't have happened if it wasn't meant to be, right? Right. So yeah, the Houston Museum of African American Culture. I have love for the museum. I honestly, truly do. If you all are interested in popping up, you can always pop in at 4807 Caroline. Y'all know I was always giving that promo. So ain't no beef. I could throw a little promo right here, 4807 Caroline Street. Pop in at the culture shop, because that's where I used to be. Y'all remember I used to be at the little cash register, cashing y'all out, you know what I'm saying? May give you a little history tidbit here and there, whatever. But yeah, I'm no longer at HMAC, the Houston Museum of African American Culture, but I am still the dopest historian. That ain't stopping now, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the dopest historian before, during, and after. And that's just what it is. So, you're no longer at HMAC. Well, what have you been doing? How you been getting your bread? How do you plan to pay your bills? Well, if you must know, since you're asking, you're not, I know, whatever. Basically, what I've been doing is freelance work. I've also been applying to recruiters and all these things and trying to do corporate work, but not really. I actually turned down the job. I went all the way through, got the job offer, everything. And I said, actually, let me rethink about this. My journey is more important right now. And honestly, if they were willing to pay me what I feel that I'm worth, then I probably would have took the job. But honestly, right now with this job industry, I mean, people aren't willing to pay what you're worth. And that's just the truth. And that's why I became the dopest historian. Well, among a lot of other reasons, right? But I know my worth. I want to show you guys my worth, and I'm going to get paid my worth. That's just what it is. So again, I've been doing freelance work as the dopest historian admin. So my background is in admin work. I could do emails, calendars, all of the things. And so that's what I do. Very small, minuscule tasks, you know, usually like an hour or two. I'll get paid for that hour or two of work, or if I'm needed at an event to do admin work. But then as well, I get to present myself as the dopest historian. If you haven't seen, I was at Sunshine's Vegan at their grand opening this past weekend. And then I also was at the Sisters Network 5K walk/run. So what I'm doing now is putting myself in these areas at these events to be the dopest historian. I'm super excited and grateful for the opportunities that I've been given so far. It is the summertime, baby, so be looking for me out on these streets. The dopest historian is coming to a spot near you, especially if the dopest Black history is going on. If the dopest Black history is going on, best believe the dopest historian is somewhere around. And if she ain't around, go ahead and shoot me a DM like, dopest historian, I know you give the dopest Black history. Why aren't you here? And what is coming up for the dopest historian, dope its history? Well, glad you asked. A lot of you guys, almost everybody, asked me like, oh, where did you graduate? If y'all know I didn't graduate, y'all asked me when I'm going to graduate, why I haven't graduated. You know, it's one of those three questions. Where did you graduate? When you going to graduate? And why you haven't graduated? Where did I graduate from? Well, I ain't graduated from nowhere because I ain't got no degree. When will I graduate? Well, after recent talks, and I'm actually going to talk to someone today as well, I'm trying to graduate freaking spring 2023. The idea is that I'll go back fall 2022, spring 2023, and I'll be graduating. And then why haven't I got a degree, or why haven't I graduated? Well, simply put, the funds, baby. COVID came and stopped my moolah. And you need moolah to go to school. Didn't have it. So I had to cut short. Became the dopest historian. Been doing this for about 2 years now, you guys. We are coming up on the 2-year anniversary of Dope It's History. You guys, you have no idea how great this feels. It feels amazing. Why? Because another announcement. Yesterday, your girl got paid for the first time as the dopest historian. Yes, dope. Its history. Dope its history. The dopest historian got paid to do what she does best. Tell that dope black history. Yes, don't play with that girl. Don't play with me, baby. Don't. You see it. I'm going to get my reparations one way or another. Shout out to Craft Princess on the earrings. Yes, okay. So yeah, I'm going back to school. I'm going to get my degree. Sadly, it probably won't be signed by Ruth Simmons. If you know me, you know that I really wanted my degree to be signed by Ruth Simmons. That's okay. I'm about to get the degree, baby. Like, y'all been playing with me. Y'all been trying to hold me back from my degree. Y'all be trying to play me because I ain't got no degree. None of that really matters. I really realized that when I went back to school, like, oh, this is easy. I'm really passionate about this. I got this. I'm more passionate than the professors, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that, sweethearts. The degree is coming, okay? That part. All right, and so then I got paid. Whitney B got paid. I got paid. Whitney B got paid. I don't do this for the money, honestly, truly. I ain't got paid in 2 years from doing this. Okay? But like I said, this past year with Dopest History has been one for the books. I got hired with the Houston Museum of African American Culture. I did my first podcast on the comments. It has not been released yet. But then I did do my first published podcast with Hugh I Do Wed. And I also talked to a group of middle schoolers. And now, as I come up on my 2-year anniversary of Dope Its History, I was hired as the dopest historian to present a Houston Juneteenth tour. What is y'all talking about? What are you talking about? You're not talking about anything because you know what the dopest historian is talking about? That dope black history. In regards to what? Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth? June 19. Come on, baby. Was you at the location? Was you at the location? Because last year I was at the location. I was at the locations, and that's boop, 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 boop. All of this just didn't fell in order. Don't play with that girl Whitney B, because I am the dopest historian, okay? So yes, shout out to En Route Travel, an HBCU travel group who has decided to pick me, giving me, the dopest historian, the opportunity to show them all of the grand things that was going on around Houston during Juneteenth. This will go down Sunday, Juneteenth in Houston, Texas. So I'm super excited, very excited. We'll be ending at, of course, the Emancipation Park celebration. So that's going to be fun. And this is honestly just the beginning of a great thing, honestly, truly. So if you didn't get the spiel earlier, I am trying to go back to school, about to graduate. I'm doing a Juneteenth tour this Juneteenth 2022. We coming up on 2 years of Dopest History. And I'm freelancing right now. So if you need some work done, if you need a little Excel sheet here or there, if you need a little email communication, if you need a whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? If it's in regards to the admin, if it's in regards to history, if it's in regards to me doing some social media things, you can hit me up, all right? And you're like, okay, sis, but how do I hit you up? Well, you can first subscribe on this here YouTube, okay? You can follow me on Instagram at dope.itshistory. Please don't forget the dot. That's DOPE dot it's history. And then you can follow me, the historian, see what's going on the historian background, and that's at the dopest historian, TheDopestHistorian, because I am the dopest historian, okay? But yes, y'all, I've been wanting to give y'all this update for so long. But it's here, y'all. History season is here. Y'all already know how I'm coming. So if you see me outside, say hey. If you see some dope history, tag me. Let me know where I need to be popping out, because dope history season is here. Watch how I pop out on the pop out. But all right, y'all, until next time, please subscribe. Please check out all of the contents that I have for you all. And until next time, you guys, see ya. Dope is history.
My shit is so big, you feel like you on top of the world if you want it. My shit is so big, you feel like you on top of the world if you want it.